Hi everyone, today I'm making bún mọc, a lesser-known Vietnamese noodle soup with pork and mushrooms. The dish originates from northern Vietnam and is supposed to be a quite bland dish, but when it came to the south, people started adding more and more stuff to the toppings, making the noodle soup bowl look really abundant and delicious. Today I visit the lunch lady in Ho Chi Minh City. She is the infamous noodle soup master that been featured on Lonely Planet and in many TV shows, including the one with Anthony Bourdain. She sells the different kinds of Vietnamese noodle soup on different days of the week. She happens to serve bún mọc today, and I can't wait to dip in the bowl of noodles that she has. The noodle soup bowl looks really abundant with different cuts and forms of pork. So you have fried pork balls or chả viên, pork sausage with cinnamon or chả quế, steamed pork sausage in banana leaf or chả cay, and of course the pork balls with mushrooms or mọc, pork sausage with pork skin or chả bì. But what impresses me most is the amazing broth. It's so fragrant, so hearty, so delicious. This is definitely one of the best bowls of noodle soup that I've ever had. Today I will try to replicate it at home. Let's begin!
Helen's recipes.
Place the pork spare ribs in a pot filled with enough water to cover and add a teaspoon of salt and a tablespoon of vinegar. Then bring to a boil over high heat so the impurities will rise to the top. This is to remove the bad smell in the pork bones. Boil for just a couple of minutes and dump out the whole pot. Rinse the rib well and wipe the pot clean. Then transfer it back to a clean pot filled with about 16 cups or 4 liters of water. Add a tablespoon of salt and 1 peach onion to keep the water clear. Bring to a boil over high heat and then keep the heat to about medium-low and cook for 1 hour, occasionally skim off the foam. Grill fried shallots over the burner until they get charred on the outside. Then peel and scrape to remove all the black bits and rinse well. Add to the stock pot for more aroma together with a teaspoon of rock sugar. Soak a few dried shiitake mushrooms in water for about 15 minutes. Then remove the stem, rinse well and add to the stock pot. The mushrooms could turn the broth to a darker color, so you can skip it if you want to keep the broth perfectly clear. Peel off the skin of the elephant ear stem and cut on a bias into slices to the thickness of around 1/4 of an inch. Then mix with 2 teaspoons of salt and leave for about 15 minutes. Then squeeze out the excess water and rinse again with warm water. Remember to wear on gloves, otherwise it could cause itchiness. Bring a pot of water to a boil and add a split water spinach or rau muống chẻ and shredded banana blossom or bắp chuối to blanch quickly. Then remove and add the elephant ear stems to cook for 1 to 2 minutes. Transfer all the blanched vegetables to a platter. Cut the sausages into bite-sized pieces. Cinnamon ham, chả quế, Vietnamese ham, chả lụa, fried pork balls or chả viên. You can also use chả huế or pork sausage wrapped in banana leaf. You can buy these frozen at Asian store or sometimes fresh at Vietnamese markets. To make the mọc or the mushrooms and pork balls, you're gonna soak the woody mushrooms in water for about 15 minutes to bloom, then remove the stems and mince well. Then season with a tablespoon of minced shallots and a tablespoon of fish sauce. Mix with the minced pork or pork paste, also called chả quế, and mix well. Then add half a teaspoon of pepper and chill in the fridge for about 30 minutes. That will help give the meatball a springy, crunchy texture. This is the technique I use to shape the balls. You hold the pork paste in the palm of your hand and make a fist to create pressure, letting the pork paste slip out of your fingers and thumbs, shaping it into a ball. I hope that makes sense. Drop the balls into the boiling broth, and when they cook, they will float to the surface. To intensify the flavor of the broth, I also stir 2 tablespoons of fermented shrimp paste or mắm tôm with half a cup of cold water and stir until dissolved and leave for about 15 minutes to settle the dregs. Then I pour the clear broth on top to the stock pot. Discard the scum settled at the bottom. Season the broth to taste with more fish sauce and stock powder. To assemble the noodle bowl, add a handful of the rice vermicelli or bung in the bowl. Then arrange the different kinds of sausages on top and sprinkle with some chopped green onions and cilantro. Ladle the hot soup over. Add some pork spare ribs if you like. Serve with the blanched vegetables at the side. Bung mop in the south has many kinds of sausages but doesn't have the elephant ear stem. Bung mop in northern Vietnam only includes the mushroom and pork balls and the elephant ear stem, but no other kinds of sausages. I make this combining both north and south version, so my bowl of bung mop looks really abundant. All the sausages add really different texture to the noodle soup bowl, and to balance out the carbs and the protein in the bowl, we already have the side platter of blanched vegetables, so don't worry. I hope you enjoyed this recipe. If you liked the video, don't forget to click thumbs up. And if you haven't already, subscribe to my channel for a lot more delicious Vietnamese noodle soups and other dishes as well. Thank you for watching. Bye bye!